It's a really cool ride vehicle.
You can get in and out of it really easily too. You put your walker or your cane aside and then you right in there.
We have aged ourselves 900 years throughout the course of this episode.
You know what? We've been riding these rides for years. Like, what do you want from us,
For
people?
84 years.
We're so broken from walking around and
Creaky
doing
bones.
rides.
Creaky bones.
I'm Demi, theme park YouTuber, aka Magical Hijinks.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, and we've both been diagnosed with terminal theme park obsession, and we're definitely going to spread it to you on the Park Peeps podcast.
We've got years of theme park knowledge, so join us as we serve piping hot takes, park tea, offer the best travel hacks and tips, and chat with guests in the theme park space.
So sit down, buckle in, and pull up on that yellow strap while we dispatch for the Park Peeps podcast. Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to the Park Peeps podcast, which we are temporarily renaming to the Geriatric Globetrotters, because Demi and I are currently broadcasting live from a hospital recovery room. Yes, it's true, where our travels to parks and places around the world have left us gasping literally for recovery in recent days. Demi, how are the dogs, which I can confirm were not out at Epic Universe? Are the dogs recovering from all that walking?
I mean, I was this close to chopping off the bottoms of, my feet yesterday. And after all of the things that we've done, and then I decided to just take a random trip to Cedar Point and walk 30,000 steps in a day. But naturally, but now I'm dying, but it's fine. We're good. We're going to be fine.
I would have loved, actually, it would have been quite a treat to walk around Epic with you if you were just walking on stubs. Like little bone stubs.
Little bone stubs?
Yes, that would have been...
I would blend in so well in Park Universe.
Can you use your nails that I just commented on to make the noises that your stubs would make on the ground?
Let me see, hold on.
That would have been Debbie walking on her bone stubs at Epic Universe. Igor would have had a field day.
I was going to say, Igor would probably try to take them.
Oh, he would have loved it. He would have loved it. But you know what, actually, that I'm thinking of now, Demi? You know what would cure us from this plight that we're going through? If you followed us at Joey Nolfi, at Magical Hijinks, and that's HIJINX, and Park Peeps Pod on all socials, and followed the Substack link for the Peep Line, our new Substack featuring extra behind-the-scenes tea from our weekly episodes, bonus content, and so much more. Maybe even Demi will show some stub pics on there.
So, I don't know. Maybe I have to make a separate account for that one for
only stubs
for paid viewers. But today, though, we have a very special episode because the only thing that can cure our broken bodies that have been ravaged by HHN, Cedar Point, Canada's Wonderland, D23, and more over the last few days is naturally more theme parks.
Yes, and we're doing a special countdown episode this week of our favorite and least favorite ride vehicles, from the smoothest operators on the ride circuit to downright terror trolleys carting us through chaos. And to do so, we have got a special guest who may or may not have been present for one of my grandest experiences on a ride vehicle you might hear about a little bit later.
When he's not running a Disney marathon or posting about his experiences from all over the world, you can likely find Matt sharing some of the chillest, most down-to-earth Disney Parks content online on one of his pages. So please welcome our friend, Matt Richardson.
Hey, Matt.
What an honor it is to be on this podcast. Thank you for having me.
You're officially a peep.
Yeah. We're so honored that you're here and are officially a peep now.
I'm so excited. This makes me so happy. I'm so happy to be with both of you.
Thank you, Matt. You are just such a little joy. And I just remember the first time Michael, also a deep friend of the pod, Michael introduced me to you at Disneyland. I was just like, this man is a little joy. And I just was very excited that Demi mentioned Cedar Point earlier, the trip that Demi just took there. Stay tuned. We'll be doing a Cedar Point episode next week, all about that. But Matt was also with me at Cedar Point with Jeremy when we did our Siren's Curse media day. So that was
so much fun.
Yes, so much fun. And Matt it was so adorable because Matt was just like, I'm really excited to do this, but I know you're a coaster nerd, so any kind of pointers or anything you could give me for the coaster stuff, just let me know. And I was like, sure, girl, I got you.
I don't want to come across as a coaster fraud. I don't know, I don't know all the lingo.
No,
I feel the same way. I love coasters and I want to ride all of them, check them all off my bucket list. But especially after like knowing how involved Joey is and knowing so much of what's going on in the coaster community, I'm just like, oh, okay, I clearly know nothing, but I'm going to be enthusiastic about it.
That's right. Demi's my little coaster hype girl.
What do they call us? GP in the coaster world?
Oh, you're the GP. Yeah, you're the GP, the general public.
GP. Yeah.
And usually if you hear a coaster enthusiast say like, oh, well, the GP will love that means it's a boring ride.
No, but I think we should be in a separate category. We should be like in between the GP and the coaster enthusiast.
Oh, you two for sure. Definitely in not in the regular GP category, but that is kind of amusing that Matt was, what are we, the GP? But I do, you know what?
Like, I'm not here like boosting about going on Barnstormer anytime soon. Like,
But you know what? I do also want to shout out. I just want to say I had a delightful also experience meeting people in the parks recently. I just want to give a shout out to true coaster nerd Raphael, who I met recently at a park, came up to me and was like, oh, I love your podcast. And I met him and his boyfriend, James. We rode Alpenfury together and then spent the rest of the day riding Leviathan and Yukon Striker. And let me tell you, Raphael, Demi, if you think I'm bad, you know what? Some of his stories he was telling me, like camping out in a parking lot to ride a roller coaster and like all this, it was next level. So it was really nice to connect with like people and to meet some peeps out in the field. So
wow,
love that.
Shout out
Raphael and James. They were great. But I think we should maybe start off our ride vehicle ranking with some like qualifiers and standards as suggested by the internal Park Peeps Research and Development and Human Resources Department of Internal Affairs, wing of the corporation.
I keep forgetting I have to feed them at some point.
Maybe, do we have any of the Five Nights at Freddy's cupcakes left? We can just toss some over there. I think you
dropped them all.
Oh, yeah. Oops. I dropped the one and only cupcake they sold. But we all know that rides and themed attractions are subjective experiences. Anyone who listened to our HHN ranking episode knows this. So if your favorite vehicle is on this list of worst that we think, don't take it personally. This is just our personal opinion. But we did use a mix of standards for our rankings here. So starting with, we're like looking at ride vehicle comfort, looking at the design of the vehicle itself, the way the vehicle rides on the track or course. Like, is it additive to the experience or distractingly rough? And that might be a clue as to which one I might be including on my worst list.
Okay, I'll let you have it then, Joey.
Demi knows exactly which one I'm talking about.
And this is why my list is so long, so that whenever somebody's going to say probably the thing on my list, I'll pull something else out.
That's right. And we're going to have some honorable mentions too. And well, as they call them on FYA Pod, dishonorable mentions, we'll have some as well. So let's get into our little lists here. I want to start with our lovely guest, Matt. I think we should we do best first or worst first? I'm like, which one
I think we should do best. Let's start positive.
Yeah.
Positive.
Okay. Matt, what are some of your honorable mentions for positives?
Oh, so I would say, my honorable mentions were ones where like I was like, there's something really good about it, but also something really bad about it, and I was really torn at like what category to put it in. Mm-hmm. So, Tron Light Cycle Run in Magic Kingdom or Shanghai Disneyland, I think was on that list because it's such a novel, fun looking thing, but it is such a pain. And it, like you're when you're in it, it's your neck is kind of craned up and stuff like that. So like, I was like, it's cool and it's neat and it looks cool, but it's not comfortable. And if you get like held up at any kind of the break points in that thing, you're sitting there with your neck. So that I was torn on that one. So I put that in my sort of like honorable mention category because it was like I wasn't sure what to do with it.
We've lost the Gen Z demographic automatically. we're like.
I love the ride.
We're like, my neck hurts. My neck hurts.
This will be a theme, I think, through this show.
Maybe I literally just wrote it the other day, and I was stuck at the very end for a hot second. Here's a trick for that ride, because it is incredibly uncomfortable if you're sitting there. Put your elbows on the very top, and then like lean your head, and it'll help you a lot.
Like you're just like, hey, I'm a little cutie like this.
Yeah, if you're a little cutie.
Oh yeah, Matt, just like that. Yeah, you could do that. That would work. All right, so we got an honorable mention there from Matt. Do you have any other honorable mentions that you'd like to?
I might mix them into,
Okay.
Yeah. I think we should just what should we do? Like, we'll start at our number 3 for best.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Matt, what is your number 3 in the best category?
So number 3, I like Monsters Unchained as a ride vehicle at Epic Universe. There's a magical moment there where you're sitting there, you're locked in there, you're nice and snug, and then when your feet come off the ground in that ride, like it feels, it's like it's that moment of being transported, and the whole time you feel really locked in there, even though it's throwing you around in all kinds of directions. And so I think there's also a little bit of recency bias here at play, because it's so new and interesting, and we were there for the opening and everything. But I like that one.
That I love it. I absolutely love it. That's on my honorable mentions. I do have Epic Universe all around. I combined that Monsters Unchained with Battle at the Ministry and Stardust Racers, just because I think, again, like you said, it's a recency bias thing. I think that we need some time to maybe see how these ride vehicles do stack up, like, because the Ministry's been having some issues. But yeah, that the Monsters Unchained one is just the detail on it too. I mean, in the way that the ride design complements the narrative of what's going on, and the way that they actually incorporate the ride vehicles into some of the scenes in the ride, because the story is you're going through Victoria's monster dungeon, and the brides get out, and you see on the screen in one of the scenes the bride's like ripping apart one of the ride vehicles, and I didn't notice it until I went this past time to Epic when Demi and I were there recently, and I noticed that you can see the brides ripping apart one of the vehicles. So and I just like that how in Forbidden Journey, as opposed to Forbidden Journey, because it's the exact same ride vehicle, you don't have anything over your head, and it feels much more expansive. So I think that's a wonderful, wonderful choice to start off with.
Yeah, I will say, though, the one thing, as much as, and it's like my favorite ride in Epic Universe, it's one of my top favorite rides ever, but it's funny because it is almost the exact same ride vehicle as Forbidden Journey, but they missed out on doing one thing, which I think they should have done, and put the little phone pockets in the back. They don't have that. And if you're not aware what I'm talking about, and I feel like nobody knows this, and I have to point this out all the time, on Forbidden Journey, you have this little like pull-out pocket on the back of the chair before you sit down, and it's a great place to put your phone, because obviously you're going to be like flinging all over. And I will never forget the first time I rode it. I was with my husband, and I heard his phone like hit like that, like bam, like it was in his pocket, secure. Thankfully, it didn't fully pop out, but it was popping out, because this ride is like you're going to be on your back at some point.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, even though you can keep your phone after you put your stuff in lockers, if you have like a pocket, I don't recommend it, because like that could happen. And this particular ride vehicle just doesn't have that extra little pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've never used a phone pocket. I did notice this time too, it does feel like on Forbidden Journey, the motion definitely feels to me way more aggressive than it does on Monsters Unchained. Like Monsters Unchained feels way more fluid, and I was noticing that, like, because this is the first trip that I was able to do both in one trip, and it was just like the motions on Forbidden Journey are like almost too much. Yeah. I never used to get nauseous by that ride, but it almost kind of feels like the motions are getting, as I get older, the motions are getting a little bit too intense for me on that ride, and it's just like, if this ride went on for 30 more seconds, I would not be okay. But
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, we're all aging ourselves so bad in this. Well, we just pushed pause in the moment on the episode, and now we are back, because we realized partway through recording that Demi's microphone had magically just not turned on. So
magically.
Yeah. So now Demi is on the proper mic. We are rocking. We are rolling. We are.
Do I sound better, everybody? I apologize for that.
Yes, you do. We
so
are
sorry, but now I think that means that we can continue and hear Joey's number 3 for best ride vehicle.
Well, I'll go through my honorable mentions first.
Do some honorable. Okay.
So, my first honorable mention is obviously the Doom Buggies on Haunted Mansion. I mean, just so iconic at Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. They're virtually the same. The Omniverse system is just so influential for the future of the Disney parks. And I just come on, like Doom Buggy, the name, it's just so freaking amazing. And you look at that ride vehicle, you know exactly what ride you're talking about. It's like even casual people that go to the parks, the GP, quote unquote, know what a Doom buggy is. It's such an iconic part of Disney history. Also, I mentioned Epic Universe all around, some real good innovation with ride vehicles there. Just the lights on Stardust Racers and the Battle at the Ministry, the innovation with that ride system. It's just so fluid and thrilling. And then, of course, Monsters Unchained we just talked about. The slot cars on Test Track and Radiator Springs Racers. I think that those vehicles, not only do they just look really cool, but they're really comfortable. And they provide a really good comfortable ride experience for the type of motions that you're doing. You feel very secure, but also free because it's just the little cloth seatbelt. And again, another big point of innovation for Disney there. Okay, so these next two, I feel like Demi's gonna roll her eyes at me.
Well, wait. We're gonna go in order.
No, these are my honorable mentions.
Your honorable mentions. Oh
yes.
my god, how many honorable mentions are you gonna do?
5. So 5, and then one that had the 3 tiers of Epic Universe. So this one is purely based on looks. But the Trolls Troller Coaster at Universal Studios Florida, and the only reason is because of the little butt. It has a butt. And if you look on the back, it has little butt cheeks. So how can I not love a ride where you get to ride on a little caterpillar's butt cheeks? Like, that is just so funny. So
oh my god.
My last honorable mention, and this is debatable if this is a ride or not, but if we're talking about comfort and solace in a day in a park, I count Carousel of Progress as a ride.
Yes.
You move around that stage.
Oh, yeah.
You're sitting in those comfortable chairs. It's dark. It's cool. It's soothing. You take a nap in there. That is an honorable mention for a comfortable ride vehicle. Nobody come for me with that because, am I safe?
You are safe. It is a moving attraction.
It is a moving attraction. Matt, you got something you want to say?
No, I never would have thought of it that way, but I take your point. It makes sense.
Matt's like, I'm a guest here. I'm not going to cross you.
No, I mean, that was on my honorable mentions as well. So I approve for very much. And also then you get to listen to one of the best songs ever. So
Hell yes. Hell yes. Okay. All right. I was expecting daggers to be out for me with that one, but
no, I love the Carousel of Progress.
Okay. Perfect.
An excuse.
Matt and I will fight off camera. But okay, so my number 3 is something that has also already been mentioned. But Tron Light Cycle Run. I think
as a favorite?
As a favorite, yes. Ugh. I personally think it's comfortable. I love riding in that position. I think it's such a unique, because there have obviously been roller coasters where you come close to riding in this position, where they're called, for lack of a better term, a flying coaster. Like Bolliger and Mabillard makes them, Vekoma makes them, where you are laying flat down. Those can be super thrilling, but this is like a hybrid between that, where you're sort of crouched. I think it creates a really interesting center of gravity in parts of your body that you've not really felt before on a roller coaster, and I think it really does enhance, especially when you're sitting in the front row, it does enhance that feeling of speed. I think if you know how to ride it properly, it's not, even on the brake run, it doesn't, because you have to fight that natural inclination to sort of sit up. You have to fight it, and as soon as you let that go, it becomes, it's really comfortable and it feels intuitive to sit on it. It really does. So also I was taking into consideration on this, I do like the phone pocket that it has.
Yes.
Demi, we were saying it has the little phone flap.
That's the best part.
Yes, but also this ride has perpetrators of Joey's famous do not film on roller coasters. This ride is notorious for people pulling out their phones and filming on it, which is dangerous. Do not do that.
Use a GoPro, you guys.
Use a freaking GoPro and strap it to your wrist. But I also just think the lighting design on these trains is so cool. It just looks incredible especially at night, going through the track when it comes outside, and the onboard audio, and like that sort of when you're doing that first turn and it makes those like wheel noises as you're like going, it like gives me chills. It's so cool. And I just think from off the ride and on the ride, this vehicle ticks every single box that you could possibly want. Even if you don't find it comfortable, in terms of immersion, you are riding a motorcycle, whether it's comfortable or not. So immersion, looks, aesthetics, it's sonic soundscape. It is just a near perfect ride experience to me that fully immerses you in the story of the ride.
And now it's getting a temporary overlay for the upcoming new Tron movie, so it's going to be all red. And to be honest with you, like my favorite part of it is hearing all the Daft Punk. So they're changing it all to 9 Inch Nails because they're doing the soundtrack.
Well, Daft Punk did not work on the Tron Light Cycle Run.
You hear Daft Punk on the queue. Am I crazy? Did I make this up? Am I just hearing it in my own head?
Yeah, no, the Imagineers confirmed, actually in an interview with me for EW, the Daft Punk did not work on this. It's all original music.
I swear, then I'm putting this in my, because I love Daft Punk, love Daft Punk. So I think I've just been mentally hearing it in my head every time. Not that I ride this that much, but like, that's really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they did too. I just assumed that they did, but no. Yeah,
okay.
They did not work on it.
All right.
Yeah, that was super surprising to me. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Okay.
For best. Demi, what's your number 3?
I have a lot of honorable mentions. I guess I will just lock in my 3 because I have like a whole list. I'm just like, I don't know, but I'm just going to say.
You might slot some out. What's one that you know is going to stay on your honorable mentions?
Constellation Carousel over at Epic Universe. Yes. I absolutely love this attraction, by the way. And if you remember when we did our Epic ranking, and I think many other times we've talked about this, doing that ride at night is just the most magical experience. And I recently did it like with my husband, and I sat in one of the two people seats instead of just like the one person seat. And I love it because like that's why on top of just like how beautiful it is and how like these incredibly these they're not, it's not like a horse, it's just like these beautiful sculptures. It's just so incredible. But I love that also there's so many different ways to ride it. I thought it was so like innovative, and it looks so beautiful. And then at the very top, like there's no like pole that goes all the way to the top. There's like a little like bulb of light on top.
Comes up out the ground. It's
so beautiful, and all the colors on them. I mean, it is stunning. Like truthfully, this probably could have been maybe on my top 3, but like I just have so much biasy in my top 3. I think that I'm gonna keep it as an honorable mention, but.
Demi's like, my number 1 is my feet that took me through the Wyatt Six house at
my tears bawling down my face as I'm wearing currently my Wyatt Six shirt for more night.
I've had the song stuck in my head. I'm not kidding you all day. That
yeah, I told you it was. Didn't I tell you that when like you're like that song when you go through the house, it's going to be amazing sounding. I was right. Thank you.
Matt, did you do HHN?
No, I didn't. But I was just about to say, I looked up Wyatt Six, and Demi, you're like the top result there. So
thank you.
I have to watch the video.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, if anybody's going, check out my YouTube video.
Demi's
where I give
video
you.
Is a great video. Yeah,
it's like a 10-minute. Like it's not like if you want to like a full deep dive, watch like the half-hour Braid Wyatt documentary on Peacock. If you want a quick little recap, so you have an understanding of what is going on in that house, please go watch that video on YouTube. But that is going to be one of my honorable mentions. I have to also put this as an honorable mention, and it's a ride that Joey and I like have talked about before that we don't even really love that much, but Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, because you get to see a full-size Mario Kart and you get to go into it. And even though you're not going at the speed that you would like to go on, it's just so cool. I mean, the design in general of like Nintendo, like seeing all those over-the-top things like in cartoon come to life and they still look cartoonish. The designs are really impeccable, but especially Mario Kart. I'll never forget the first time I saw that. I was just like, oh my gosh,
they're comfortable too.
We're riding Mario. Yeah, and it's comfortable. Yeah, it's not like a low to the ground like go-kart type thing. It's like a normal ride vehicle, which is also really amazing. I also have to put on there the E.T. adventure.
I was gonna put that on there. But I didn't.
I love it because like even though you're still like in a regular seat, like you're not like straddling a bike seat, which I thank you, Universal, for not making us straddle like a full-on bike seat. And it's just so magical. And then you have E.T. in the basket at the very front. And what cool. I don't know if the people realize it, especially if you're not in the front row. Like once we get to E.T.'s planet, like he disappears and then goes into the planet. Like that's so cool for a ride vehicle to like do that, especially a ride vehicle that old.
Didn't he used to turn around and like his heart, you could see his heart glowing?
You still see his heart glowing.
Oh, you still see his heart glowing? Okay. For some reason, I feel like I missed that on my last time. Maybe mine was broken.
Yeah. I also want to put out this as my honorable mention. And it's a tie between a few ride vehicles and any that I might have missed that are similar. And that is Haunted Mansion Doom Buggies, Little Mermaid, from Magic Kingdom, and the Nemo ride at Epcot when you're in the clamshell. So you're in the clamshell or you're in the Doom Buggy, but my favorite reason for putting them all together, you're not riding with anybody else. Comfortability and being alone, not having other people ruin the experience for you, or you just get to have that moment for yourself, honestly. And I love it. And those three in particular are all Omnimovers. And so that's also really fun too, because it's constantly moving, so the lines are pretty good. But yeah, I love being able to not be, I don't know, let's say you're on Pirates, and then there's just somebody in front of you taking too many pictures and you're ruining your experience, or talking and shouting the entire time. I was on something recently, and people were having a full-on conversation in the middle of a ride, and I was like, what are we doing? Why aren't you enjoying the ride?
I would, I would have said something.
It's kind of I feel like this, I know it happens everywhere, every time I go on the Hogwarts Express, because people treat it just like transportation and not as a ride, even though it's both. And and it's a fun little, it's a cute little thing, but it's stuff is happening. And I'm even though I've seen it a bunch of times, I still enjoy listening to it. And especially now hearing the really bad Hermione voice being gone, I want to hear it more and try to see if it sounds any better. But and everyone's just sitting there just having a conversation on a regular day, because they're just well, we're just going to the next park. So being in those little clamshells or the Doom Buggy, it's fun. So my number 3, though, I think this might surprise you, Joey, is Flight of Passage.
As good?
Yes, as good.
Oh, I think that's great. No, I think that's a really great one.
I feel like I never talk about this ride because, I don't know, I feel like anything in Animal Kingdom we just forget to talk about sometimes. But I love Flight of Passage. I really love that ride vehicle. It really does feel like once you are fully in the scene of the attraction, you are on the Banshee. It is giving Banshee. But the best part is feeling the Banshee breathing between your legs.
Yes.
I'll never forget that. It was the first time I was just, and even to this day, the fact that they simulate the Banshee breathing, so it's really bringing it to life, it is amazing. Plus, you're getting hit with smells and spray stuff in your face, I guess. I
can't get over it's giving Banshee.
It's giving Banshee.
That's a point of reference for so many people. It's giving Banshee.
Well, what I mean is it's giving you the feeling that versus something like Tron Light Cycle where you feel like you're on a motorcycle, right? Because
she's not giving Banshee.
She's not giving Banshee. Well, what I'm saying is instead of you're feeling, because you're putting it's kind of like you're sitting on a motorcycle, right? You're having a thing between your legs, but it could just feel like you're on a motorcycle because they're doing this extra work to make you feel like you're on an animal. Yeah, it really brings the ride to life.
Mm-hmm. And you're sitting upright. That's the big difference with that in Tron. You're sitting upright. You're nice, snug, and I like that sort of snug feeling. I think that's a great one.
Yeah.
So it's giving Banshee. It's giving cozy. It's giving upright. It's giving scent. It's giving aesthetic. It's giving speed. Anything else it's giving?
It's giving long lines, but it's so good.
It's giving excellence. How about that?
Giving excellence.
All right. Matt, your number 2 best.
I put down PeopleMover in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
So first of all, great ride. We all love PeopleMover, of course. I think that ride vehicle in particular is iconic. I have a model behind me.
Yes, you do.
And I think what I like about it, no restraint. You just sit down. The bench seat is actually kind of comfortable.
So comfortable.
It's plush.
And if you get in there by yourself, you put your feet up on the edge of the other seat. It's very comfortable. I'm really into that, and that it's just a very chill out kind of experience. And I think it's because of that ride vehicle.
Not you making the next people who get on the ride sit on the dirty bottoms of your shoes.
You know
Matt.
what, Joey?
Expose yourself.
No, I'll say it too. I mean, listen.
Everybody does it.
I'm kidding. I'm just teasing you.
This ride may or may not be on my list, and I also put my feet up
and it's
Your stubs, you mean?
my little stubs. And that's the deal. Like, sorry, everybody. Like,
I do it too.
Everyone does it. I don't want to. I'll get into my reasons later, but don't shame him for putting his feet up.
Well, you know what? Not all of us are blessed with having stubs now. I mean, some of us have to worry about germs on the seat. No, it doesn't bother me on PeopleMover, but for some reason, the only time that bothers me is when people are getting in the boat on Jurassic Park or River Adventure, because like it's so wet, and then I just see people step in before me, and all of them step on the seat that I'm about to sit on, and it's wet, and I'm just like...
They do it on Pirates, too.
Yep, they do. Well, you know what? I'm just going to blame it on Matt now. I'm just going to be like, you know what? Matt started this trend, and
Matt was here.
Matt said, F them kids, I'm putting my feet on this seat, and you have to sit on it.
It's like his killer mark. He left his footprints on my vehicle.
Matt, you know where Matt has reigned terrorism in the Magic Kingdom you see his footprint on the seat. Yeah. I love it. No, I think that's a really good choice. The PeopleMover is just, it's a classique. It is just, when they were designing these things back in the day, they knew what they were doing. Sometimes, as a preview of my dishonorable mentions for later. I feel like I have to cite FYA Pod every time I say that, because I don't want them thinking I'm copying them. Yeah, that's their thing. Dishonorable mention.
Yeah.
No, great choice. Great choice for number 2. My number 2 is going to be the EMVs on Indiana Jones and Dinosaur, which are the only 2 that I've ridden. I know there's another Indiana Jones in Japan. Not done that one, obviously, but I can't decide which one I like better, if I like the dinosaur ones or the Indiana Jones ones better. I think I might lean towards dinosaur just because we're not going to have it much longer, and I want to celebrate it while we can. I think I'm probably going to be doing it for my last time coming up this upcoming weekend. But I just think it looks so... I mean, not only in terms of, I know I keep saying innovation, this ride really was so unique when these opened in the early 90s Indiana Jones opened in the early 90s, Dinosaur opened late 90s. But, to have a static moving car that wasn't in a fixed place like a motion simulator, but have essentially a motion simulator on a moving thing, like that was a big deal for that time. And to simulate the kind of things that you're going through, whether it's like a rocky temple in Indiana Jones or the jungle Cretaceous period forest in Dinosaur, it's so innovative and immersive to sort of be bouncing along on this path. And they also just look really cool. It's these getting the steering wheel on Indiana Jones was always my favorite thing to do as a kid, and that just an extra little element for kids. The kids that I see in line are always like, I want the steering wheel. And it's that extra little kind of bit of like, it looks like a car. Of course you're going to have a steering wheel on it. And of course the kid's going to want the steering wheel. And it just adds to that really fun anticipation in this little teeny small little way. And it's always cool to like look out on Indiana Jones and see the other ones going by and like bouncing around. And I love it. It jostles you in the best way, in an uncomfortable way. I think
disagree. Absolutely disagree about
I love it.
Uncomfortable. I don't go to make sure to go to the bathroom before you go on those rides, because that seatbelt is jostling my bladder like nobody's business. I don't know what you're talking about. Literally, like, it is. I love Dinosaur and I love Indiana Jones, but and I appreciate the ride vehicle, but that is painful. I'm putting that on my honorable mentions for bad, and it's only because it hurts. I am hurt every time. I love it in theory. And actually, when I was at Cedar Point, Magnum XL, the ride vehicle, the paint part of the ride vehicle kind of looks like the Dinosaur Time Rover. And now you'll never unsee it.
Well, I just did not. I was fully joking at the top of this episode when I said this was Park Peeps Geriatric Edition, but we're like, my bladder hurts on Dinosaur.
But this has been a thing for me since I was as far back as I can remember of writing these. So it has nothing to do with age. I have been geriatric my whole life, but
No, but it does. I feel like I come off of dinosaur every time. I'm just like, ow.
It's just so funny to me. We're like, carousel of progress, nap. My bladder hurts from dinosaur. I'm riding the PeopleMover and putting my feet up. Like this is the elderly
My
edition.
neck hurts on Tron.
Yes, my neck hurts on Tron. I can't sit straight on it. This is just lovely. Love it so much. We're just trucking on through here. All right. So this is also the F them EMVs episode because apparently nobody else likes the EMVs. Matt, how do you feel about the EMVs?
I'm with Demi on this. It looks good. It looks cool. It being shaken around like that is not. It's not like a fun kind of shaking around. It's just my only issue. You just you really get tossed around in not a fun way.
Oh, I fully disagree. See, I think, and you know what?
Validated.
Okay, everybody who listens to this pod, including Demi, you know that when I was referencing before. I have to bring it up now, something on my bad list, which is obviously Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. Yeah. That, to me, is jostling in like a disconcerting way. This is more controlled intense. Jostling, and it's going along with the story of the ride. And I feel like maybe it's just because I've ridden both so many times. I like really, you kind of have to sit in a certain way where you're like your feet are planted. You kind of have to hunch over. You really have to grab onto the things in front of you. You can't grab onto any. You can't just sit up. And if you kind of let your arms slack a little bit, but your trunk is sort of positioned, and you just kind of like move with it, it's really not bad.
You're literally describing like
a tornado prep.
Like you have to like go through training to be able to ride this ride without being hurt, and that is my point exactly. Of like what. No, it shouldn't. I shouldn't have to like plant your feet down and brace yourself and hold on tight and make sure that you. Like,
I didn't say brace yourself. You just have to like it's a jostly ride, so you're gonna.
But you don't know it's a jostly ride until you're riding it. Unless you've been on it.
Debbie, did you think going back in time to retrieve a dino was going to be a smooth sailing experience with a comet coming down, or going into a deadly temple with a statue that turns you into skeletons? They warn you at the beginning that it is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. That's what he says in the pre-show. And then there's a literal skeleton in the pre-show. So I don't want to hear that you weren't prepared.
It's still uncomfortable.
I didn't say it was comfortable. I said it was fun. It's fun.
It's still, I have fun on those rides. Especially, I'll never forget the first time I did Indiana Jones a couple years ago. And like the reveal of the temple is like how big it is too is so amazing.
Stunning.
But I like I said, I appreciate the ride vehicle. I get hurt though.
Matt, I thought you were going to be on my side on this episode.
Sorry, Joey.
And
Sorry, Joey.
We'll see how the rest goes.
Yeah.
Double teaming.
Well,
all right.
My number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Is Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. Because, first of all, you have 2 ways of experiencing the same ride. You can feel, and what I love about this attraction, like just kind of similar to like Tron. Well, I'm going to say this. I don't hate the Tron vehicles. I do find them uncomfortable, but I don't feel like I'm fully motorcycled. I feel like I'm in a ride vehicle. Using motorcycle, yes. Because like as much as fun it is and it feels fast, and I know there are motorcycles that obviously that you lean forward on, like there are types like that. But to me, I still feel like I'm on a ride vehicle on that versus when I'm on Hagrid's and I'm on that bike, I literally feel like I am riding a motorcycle. And I don't know if it's like a difference in like the type of cycle or if just like the track or whatever, or the ambiance and the sound, because obviously Tron is more futuristic and this is actually sounding like a motorcycle. But I literally, like, people will be on the motorcycle part of the attraction and they'll still keep their hands up. Like, no, I am holding on. I'm the one in control. I'm the one until Hagrid takes control. And then in the sidecar, like, it's just like, that's where you keep your hands up. That's where it's just like a wee little fun thing. And it's great, especially for people. I hate it too. Like, I don't want the sidecar, but like, if it's a busy day and I do a single rider, like, I just want to get on, right? But it also, like, some people can't do the motorcycle very well. They don't want to do the motorcycle. It's a great other option, kind of like how there's cars at the back of Tron. So I love that you have two versions of it. I love that it's also kind of like would it be considered omni-mover, Joey? But not really. It is like continuously moving.
Like not
it never
in the
stops.
Traditional sense, but it technically, I guess. But you know what?
Yeah.
Let me ask everybody out there a question, including you and Matt.
What?
On the note of the sidecar, I don't give the child. If there's a child in line behind me or in front of me, I'm getting that. I am getting that motorcycle seat. The child, sidecar. You're getting a sidecar. Because you know what? You didn't pay to get in here. I did. So that child is Matt looks so disturbed right now. Matt, would you give the child the motorcycle seat?
Wait a second. Point of clarification here. Are you talking about a child that you're related to, or are you talking about like a random child, or like because they're not grouping you with other random people, are they on that ride?
Oh yeah, because like if I'm in the park, usually when I go, I'm usually solo. But unless I go with like one other friend, but yeah, if I'm solo and there's a child behind me and it's like I want the motorcycle seat.
But like usually they're not splitting up children, right?
Oh no, yeah, like there's fully like if you do single rider.
I mean, if you do single rider, but if you do single rider, like you cannot take the motorcycle. There was one time I did single rider, and like the gentleman was like, "Oh, I don't want it. Please take the motorcycle." And I was like, "This is the luckiest day of my life." But like usually when you do single rider and you fill in, your job is to be the sidecar.
It happened recently, and I was on the express line because they just did express for this, and yeah, I remember. Like, I mean, I get if you're gonna ask me, maybe, but if you just like are talking behind me and are just like, I want the motorcycle. I get it. I get it.
Matt, what would you do?
If it was a young kid, I'd let them do what they want.
Yeah. This is the same thing that I do on Smuggler's Run. Those kids are all like, I want the engineer, or I want the pilot. I want the pilot. I'm crashing us into everything.
I think like
boom, boom,
it depends on the situation, but my thing is like because I can be there, I'm grateful to be able to be in those parks often. I don't want somebody who's maybe there for a once in a lifetime family vacation to not have the good experience. But if I'm like waiting in line like everyone else and I'm the person next and like and there's no kid that asked me to like cut like, you know, that's going to be paired with me to take the motorcycle and it's just like another adult, but I waited the full 2 hours in line, you know, type of thing. I'm going to get the motorcycle.
Well, this is also the F Them Joey's episode because...
Sorry, pal.
I can't like, no. No.
I'm done. Me and my cursed Laura Dern dinosaur from Universal are getting up out of here. Wow. Isn't she cursed? Look at her. She is so... I bought this dinosaur from Universal a few years ago, and it's literally a triceratops with Laura Dern's pink shirt on and like the most insanely yellow colored tuft of hair that I guess is supposed to look like Laura Dern's, even though it's not even similar.
I never would have guessed that had anything to do with Laura Dern.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either.
Because I went in there and I demanded, I said, why is there a lack of Laura Dern representation in the Jurassic Park merch? And they were like, we have this. And
why is there a lack of Laura Dern, period?
I don't know. So every time I go through the Jurassic store, I'm like, where's the Laura Dern merch? And I make a point to ask them all the time. I'm like, you need to get some new Laura Dern merch. Because they have Jeff Goldblum plushies. Where's the Laura Dern plushie?
True.
Where's it at?
True.
Where is it at?
Get them together. Right. Play house.
Matt, I think we've reached you for number one, your favorite ride vehicle.
My favorite ride vehicle is from probably my all-time favorite ride. That's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Good choice.
It's a aesthetically. Oh, sorry. Aesthetically, it's the Star. What do you call it? Star Jumper is really nice. It's got like even like wear and tear painted on it and everything. It looks really good.
Yeah.
And then when you sit down and you get that restraint on, it's very comfortable. You feel very snug and secure in there.
Yes.
And the effect of that is that I feel like I can just like not worry about anything and just let the ride take me because I feel so nice and secure and comfortable in there, more so than any other ride I've ever been on.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a theme in Matt's choices. I think Matt has used
Comfort,
snug and secure
But
every single one.
I'm the same way, like especially on a coaster. And I just had this whole conversation when I was at Cedar Point, where it's like, if I am not completely, like if this restraint is not as tight as it possibly is on me, that's when I'm like starting to like saying my prayers under my breath and being like, this is where I die. I want to feel snug and secure, and that's how I feel safe in order to feel fun. And Guardians was actually on my, I didn't want to have like so many honorable mentions. It was on my honorable mentions. It is incredibly comfortable. It's very roomy. You have like a huge thing to put your stuff in.
Yeah.
You know, too. But yeah, I do feel snug and secure.
Yeah. Our taste, like I'm the kind of person that will like sit there and ask them not to push down my restraint on my number one, which I'll reveal later. But yeah, I am like, no way. I'm like, no, don't push it down too much. Don't push it down too much. And they're like, I have to. But Matt, that is also, I think, a great choice because I think it's a really great example of, again, my favorite I word of this episode, the innovation of controlled spinning on a coaster versus free spinning. And I think anytime you introduce the word spinning to somebody, they're like, nope, not doing it. It's going to make me sick. Granted, I just lost my mic there. This ride does still make people ill. Like if you're prone to motion sickness, obviously any kind of spinning and forward motion is going to make you ill. But I think just casual people, this isn't going to affect them because the spinning is so controlled and it's not just wild out of nowhere like Curse of the Werewolf, which I love. That ride does not get half the credit it deserves. I think the free spinning on that is insane, but it's just such a different feeling. I mean, it's not sickening at all to me. It doesn't make me feel out of whack whatsoever. So I think it's a really, really interesting ride vehicle, and it is super comfortable for a coaster train. That ride is so smooth. It is glass smooth. So, and it's also, I like the colors too. The blue and yellow. I think it's a really cool ride vehicle.
You can get in and out of it really easily too. It's just, you put your walker or your cane aside and then you get right in there.
We have aged ourselves 900 years throughout the course of this episode. That is so funny.
You know what? We've been riding these rides for years. Like, what do you want from us, people?
For 84 years.
We're so broken from walking around and doing rides.
Where, you know that skull before you go down the hill at Disneyland Pirates of the Caribbean? That's us. By the end of this episode, we're like, we tell you tales from the Caribbean.
Dead men tell.
Dead men. Yeah, I don't know what I was going through there. Like, we tell you tales from the Caribbean. So, okay. My number one best ride vehicles, because I really want to get to our negatives, is VelociCoaster. I think that not only is it just a really comfortable restraint system because it's not an over-the-shoulder restraint, it's not a seatbelt that comes across from left to right and really sort of digs into your... It's like just a very
Sorry. That was me. Sorry. My lack of being able to get to the nail salon and my incredibly extra long nails right now just hit my microphone out of nowhere, and I apologize.
Love it. But I just think it's like an ergonomically designed to like fit the contours of like your hips, which is really comfortable. But then also, and this is through my work at EW, 4 years ago, I was able to interview Shelby, who designed the ride and designed the ride vehicles, and she was telling me things about the vehicles that are just so cool. Just the level of detail that goes into this. So you know how blue is used like on the lighting package all throughout VelociCoaster? Mm-hmm. She told me, and this is published, go read it on EW.com, that they specifically chose the color blue because the story is you're going through a raptor paddock, and in nature, the color blue often appears on animals that are naturally predisposed to be prone to predators. So blue repels predators. Like when a predator sees the color blue, it's naturally in their instinct to like want to avoid the color blue. So that's why they use you see the blue lights on the back of the train. She also said that they tilted the seat slightly backwards so that you're sitting. If you're tall enough, this is not going to happen. But for most people, so your legs are slightly dangled up off the floor and you're sitting at like an off-kilter angle so that the airtime feels scarier. She basically said, we designed these ride vehicles to make it feel like you were going to fall out at every single turn. And I just think that it's such a unique approach to a coaster, not only fitting story by something as simple as lights and the science behind why they chose blue for this lighting package, and then also just tilting those seats back like that, the open air design of the car, it just feels so free, and the airtime is just so much more intense because of it. So that is my all-time favorite ride. And also they just look really cool. And I think that it's just a beautiful train when you see it go by at night. It's just like Stardust Racers. I mean, you see that blue swishing through the air. It's just gorgeous. So she's my number one. Demi, what about you?
Well, I kind of gave a hint to it before, but my number one is the PeopleMover. Because I am a geriatric in my soul. Because truthfully and honestly, the whole experience of the PeopleMover is just elite. Because it's usually a very, like, no to short wait. You get on there, you get a whole ride vehicle by yourself. That goes into my by yourself category. You get to sit on a comfy chair. You put your feet up. At one point, you are completely in the dark because you go into Space Mountain. And, like, it's dark. Like, honestly,
Rub
like,
them toes all over that seat in the dark.
Honestly, like, I'm afraid for, like, if a kid rides the People and then they're like, oh my gosh, freaking out because it's so dark, like that dark. And that, like, it's just great. You get the best views of the castle, you get views of Tomorrowland, you get views of inside rides, you get darkness, you can take a nap, you can look at the things, you can just relax. And it's overall just like such a lovely experience, and you don't have to be sitting next to anybody either. I really just think not being able to sit with anybody is my favorite part about any type of ride vehicle, which I only discovered today.
I love that you're both like, let the child ride. And now you're like, get away from me. I don't want to ride with anybody else.
I don't want to ride with anybody else. I still want families to have, like, the greatest experiences at these parks that are, you know, that they're there for. But I still don't want to sit with anyone. And it's nothing against them. I just want to be by myself.
Well, let's go to the thing I've been waiting for, the negatives. Let's go to the negatives. Our least favorite. Matt, what are your we're not going to call it dishonorable mention.
Wait, I think, like, I'm afraid. Can I be totally honest with you? I'm afraid within our honorable mentions, we're going to hit some of our tops on this. Because I feel like it's hard to come up with, like, the worst, right? Versus, like, the best. Like, there's so many Oh, maybe Joey disagrees that there's more worst options?
Oh, I got it.
How about we do our top three, and then you can, at the end, if you want to, like, throw in a few extras so that, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I would prefer that too.
Okay.
So, Matt, what is your number 3 on your top 3 worst ride vehicles?
This might be controversial because this was my favorite ride at Epic Universe, but there's a little bit of a story about this particular ride vehicle that makes me hate it so much. So the ride that I love is Hiccup Swing Gliders. But the ride vehicle terrorized me. Not only every time I ride it the restraint locks down on me.
He said the same thing.
I think it's a particular body. If you have a particular body geometry, there's some sort of thing that you can't help. Even if you don't let the restraint go down all the way, when the ride accelerates, the restraint falls down further and it gets extremely uncomfortable. Like, it's like, it shouldn't feel this way. I even got out and said something because I was like, I think it's a particular body geometry, but I had a very scary moment, which was getting on it with our friend Michael. We were riding it during the preview, and he put his hand. I had just sat down. He put his hand to sit himself down on the divider between the two seats, and I was pulling my restraint down while he had his hand on the divider. There's no clearance between the divider and the restraint. I pulled the restraint down, not realizing this jammed his entire hand between the restraint and the divider. So he was like, I had hurt my friend and I felt awful, and he couldn't get his hand out. They had to lift the restraints up to get his hand out of the thing. And here we are getting on a ride and having fun. And I'm telling him how great this ride is going to be. And then I just jammed
you
his
mangle
hand.
him.
Yes. I like, obviously it's like, I know it's not my fault. Like the ride is not that ride vehicle's got some design flaws if that's going to happen. And I hope that hasn't happened to many other people, but it just sort of like ruined it for me because now
you did it on purpose.
Oh, Michael.
Matt.
I'm going to text him after this and be like, are you okay? And he's
I
like,
was
what?
apologizing. I was apologizing. Like I felt so bad. And it's
Of
like,
course.
how can you just like enjoy a ride after you jammed your friend's hand in between the restraint and the divider? I felt terrible.
I'd do that to the little kid trying to steal my sidecar.
Yeah, you would.
No, oh my gosh. I have
crazy though, that's possible.
I never heard this story. That is so wild. But Quincy did, you heard Demi and I both exclaim. Quincy said the exact same thing about her experience, that it was coming down. I didn't feel this. But that's a harrowing story. I am also going to ask Michael if he's okay, because that is, I'm sure he suffered.
No context. Are you okay?
He has stubs too now on his hand. This is the stub. This is the episode of stubs. We got, no offense to the stub community, but this is the stub episode. Well, that's a pretty good reason, I think.
Otherwise, I love the ride.
Yeah.
Love the ride. But the fact that like he couldn't even take his hand out without them opening it up is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy town. I've never heard anything like that before. That is just next level nuts. Well, thank you for diving into the harrowing history of Hiccup's wing gliders there. Demi, what's your number 3 worst?
Okay, so all right, I'm going to say it. Am I going to say it? Yeah. All right, it's Disney World Space Mountain, which is still one of my favorite attractions of all time. But, like, it's so low to the ground. You are never graceful getting in and out of this ride vehicle.
Nope.
It's also really hard to, like, fit a bag and then, like, also then your feet.
You're, like, stuffing it in that pouch.
Oh, my God. It's just, like, it's so hard to get in and out of that. I've only done Matterhorn like once. I don't remember it being as bad because it's kind of like similar like leg positioning. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I ride Space Mountain all the time. I actually just like, I mean, not all the time. I never have time really. But like if I do have time to ride it, that's like the ride I'm going to choose on Alpha. Only Alpha. Omega. She's a different ride. I don't know what's happening on Omega, but we need to fix her. I love Alpha, even though this past time I feel like she did terrorize me a little bit. But getting in and out, and like you want to like be quick because like you want the next, you want your vehicles to, you don't want to keep it moving, but it's
you
like,
want to look cool is the right answer.
No, I don't care about looking cool ever. I've never cared about looking cool.
Me.
Ever. Oh, you.
I want to look cool.
I just want to like keep it moving because like I don't want to like slow anything down. But it's just like, okay, I got to slowly move this way and then wrap my foot around this way and then, oh, don't forget my bag. Oh, my foot's caught in my bag. My foot's caught in my bag. I'm hopping out and I'm down.
And everybody on the security cameras, all those cast members are up there. I wonder if it gets old for them to see people trying to get out of that. Somebody there has a compilation on their cell phone that they take.
I'm sure they have like a compilation of like the curly haired freak, like it's just me. Like, that's what it's called. Curly haired freak gets in and out of ride vehicle.
Yeah, right after they look at the night vision and they see Matt putting his foot all over the PeopleMover that's going through, and then they're watching Demi get out of the train and they're like, this is just the freak day. It's the freak day up at Space Mountain.
I still love it, and I still prefer that version of Space Mountain because I love how old it does. I love how old it is and how original it is to Disney World, and so like I don't care. I will continue to deal with it, but it's still so
terrorism.
Annoying. Terrorism.
Yeah, no, yeah. I've many a mom has gotten stuck in that ride, including mine. But. Okay, my number 3, Demi, we talked about this on the Derek episode. My number 3 is the Finding Nemo submarine voyage at Disneyland. Not only I'm going to repeat what I said on that episode, you go down in there, it is claustrophobic. It is that dank, nasty smell in there that just smells like dankness personified. I wish the windows would break and we would go to a watery grave down there, because I suffocate already. So I'm like, why not just make it an aquatic suffocation? And I cannot. I feel claustrophobic. I never get claustrophobic on rides. I get claustrophobic in there because we're underwater. Yeah. The smell, the yelling, it's like that tinny, echoey kind of situation. No. And then you're like fighting the COVID germs to get your face next to the window with the other children. And I'm just like, no, can't do it. So that's my number 3. Can't stand it. They need to bulldoze that whole section with the Autopia and refigure out the monorail and put something giant in there, because it's awful, mama. That's
I
awful.
didn't even think about that's a great one.
It's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. All right, Matt, you're number 2.
Debbie touched on this a little bit already. I would say the Matterhorn at Disneyland, the toboggan style. I have a trouble getting in and out of there. It makes me feel like an old man.
Nothing else in this episode, and nothing else in this episode did.
Yeah. Joey, like, I just want you to, like, you did this to us because you said in our intro to the geriatric globetrotters, but you projected it onto us and we just ran with it. This is all your fault.
No, well, you know what? In the true spirit of geriatricism, is that a word? A geriatric, the geriatric spirit. I forget, Demi. I forget saying that. So.
Okay, perfect. Matt, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
So the other issue with this toboggan style seat is that you have to sort of straddle your legs a little bit in a weird way that, for me, it can kind of sometimes give me a bit of like a spasm or cramp that I have to like wriggle around to like get right. It's a very it's just, there's something, I'm not a very flexible, limber person, and I just don't have that, like, my legs don't do that. And so it's really hard. And it's a rough ride. And all they did was put some like springiness in the seat. The seat's got this like rubber springy thing going on there to try to like compensate for that. That's a rough ride. And so just it's very unforgiving, that ride vehicle.
It is.
Well,
yeah.
It is the chiropractor ride, you know. Yeah. Like I said, I only did it the one time and I don't really have like full memory of it, but I do remember like there's a reason I only rode it one time.
Yeah. That's a good word for it, Matt, is that it's unforgiving, I think, is the thing. Like, even if that is also a ride where I do think, like, you got to know how to ride it. And if you can ride it properly, it diminishes the pain. But yeah, it's even in those positions, it is pretty unforgiving. Like, you have to anticipate it the exact right way. And, you know, there's nothing that they're ever going to do to change or fix that, because it's that ride is literally living history. I mean, that is the first tubular steel roller coaster in the world. That they're never getting rid of that. They're never going to change it. So it's my fear is though that they're going to do some sort of IP with it someday. It's going to be like the Matterhorn featuring Elsa and Anna, and it's just, that's going to drive me nuts when they do that day. But
I hope I'm not alive to see that.
Same. Just we will have perished in our watery grave from Finding Nemo long before that, hopefully.
What if they started a fresh movie series just based on Swiss Matterhorn? Like,
oh, that's probably what they're gonna do. You're smart, Matt. Like, they're probably gonna do that so that they can keep it the Matterhorn, but also make it IP.
That was a rumor a long time ago. I think they actually greenlit a Matterhorn movie, and then I think it just never got made.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. I want to say The Rock was supposed to star in it.
I mean, what else? He's supposed to star in everything.
I know. Yeah, maybe I'm getting it confused with something else, because I know
it starred in Jungle Cruise. Are you thinking of the correct ride movie?
This was like maybe 15 years ago, and there was also a Big Thunder Mountain movie that was greenlit that never happened.
See, that I mean, I can see both of these things being a movie, because they're just like generic to have a movie in the West, a generic to have a movie in the Swiss Alps. But
there's a bit of a story to Thunder Mountain. I know there's some backstory to that ride.
Right? No, of course. But I mean more of just like that they have a jumping off point, but it's more instead of just like something that it's hard to create a story from, is what I think I mean. versus,
Right.
the each of them have a jumping off point.
2021, Disney was developing a Matterhorn bobsleds-based feature film. Yeah. It was for Disney Plus. However,
Wait,
there was a
space?
I'm sorry. Matterhorn bobsleds for Disney Plus. It
Oh.
was, and then
Matterhorns in space.
yeah, this was after the success of Jungle Cruise. So
Okay.
I don't think it's going to happen because they were scaling back on a lot of stuff with Disney Plus. But I am excited about that Tower of Terror movie though with Scarlett Johansson. I think that could
that is happening?
yeah.
Okay. I mean, what about the other tower? Put the other Tower of Terror movie on Disney Plus already. Come on.
I know. All right, Demi, let's go with your number 2.
Well, it's so funny because I still love one of the two of this attraction that has the same ride vehicle, but I don't love the ride itself. I just love it for the meme of it, which won't surprise anybody if you listen to this podcast or watch my YouTube videos or anything. It's the ride vehicle on Fast and Furious Supercharged / Kong Skull Island. I hate that ride system. Hate it. You are on like a bus. It's like a
bus.
It's literally a bus. You're the row of people. If you're not on the end, you have a terrible view of everything. And then all the bus, you move, you drive forward, and then you drive forward again, and watch something, and then you drive forward again, and then there are big screens on the sides of you, and like things are happening kind of around you, and all the bus is doing is shaking you.
I like to watch the mannequin in the driver's seat because it's like,
yeah. So, I mean, there is a rumor that Fast and Furious Supercharged will close, and we're going to get the coaster where Rip Ride Rocket is. There's also a rumor that it might be Back to the Future. Listen, as much as I love hearing The Rock call somebody Cookie Puss, and I am such a
Cookie
Fast
Puss.
and Ride
She returns.
She returns. I'm such a Fast and Furious fan because it's so dumb and fun. Obviously, Back to the Future is my favorite movie. So if they don't, though, change the style of the ride vehicle, regardless of what it will be, I'm just going to be so upset. It's just a terrible experience, especially if you're in the middle.
Yeah. And the Kong Skull Island one is a little bit better because at least those are, I feel like the screens are showing scenes that have a little bit more depth to them, whereas the supercharged one is literally you're just on a highway driving past other cars, so it's like seeing the depth is not as vital as it is, or is more. The Kong ones give a little bit more depth to the screen. Plus, there's that giant animatronic. So.
Right, but I know they stopped doing it on the tram tour for Hollywood, but like you used to be able to. You were on the tram tour, which is like a regular tram, and.
Yeah.
So if you're able to do this ride while sitting on a tram car and still kind of getting that same experience, you have a problem with your ride vehicle.
Time to go.
And it's time to go.
Time to go. I agree. I think we can all agree. Matt, do you hate that as well?
I haven't done either of those rides. I've only done the tram version of it at Hollywood, and I didn't like that very much. So.
You have to do it just to experience both of them. Like just to see the Kong animatronic actually is pretty cool at the end. But you have to do these things just to experience how embarrassing they are. And especially in the station of Supercharged, when the cars are coming towards you, that damn mannequin in the driver, it is like a fully like rubber bodied person, and it's like shaking coming into this. It's so funny. It looks so funny, especially the ones that are like female presenting and they have wigs on, so the hair is like it's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
All right,
Joey,
Matt.
what's your number 2?
Oh, my number 2. Donkey Kong Madness.
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked way so much trash on this ride throughout the past 6 months.
And we'll keep doing it.
And we'll keep doing it.
I'm with you on this. This one I'm 100% with you on.
Yes.
Wait,
thank
Joey,
you.
You have to tell them what my husband said while we were on the ride last week, because we took my husband. It was first time at Epic.
You say it.
Okay.
Because we got to do it together.
We got to do it together. I was sitting in the front with him. Joey was sitting in the back, and we kept telling him like, listen, you're gonna hate this.
You're gonna hate it.
You're gonna hate this. And he was like, okay, I'm prepared. And as soon as it starts, he says, "Why did they think this was a good idea?"
And that poor man that I was sitting with too, he was so excited. He was like, "This is gonna be so fun."
Oh, yeah,
He
we
was
had a
like,
single
"Yeah,"
rider.
and I like looked over to the side. And I was like, "Trust me, it's not good."
He was having fun with us though, because we were just hating on it while riding it.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, I'll let you have. This is obviously going to be on like my list too, but like just you take it away and trash it. Go ahead.
I mean, we've already said a lot. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but like, I mean, it's just essentially it boils down to the system clearly was not perfected by the time that they made it to opening. They should have kept it for like a phase 2 and worked on this. I always go back to what Quincy said is that she compares it to like a selfie stick. The further and further away the camera gets from the base of the selfie stick, the shakier it's going to be. There's too much room between the actual where the boom connects to the track and the car. So any kind of transition that is not simple up and down, it like just completely jostles you and you hit your knees off the side. The worst is that indoor portion where you're like going right to left and the mine cart's coming towards you, and then you kind of go right and then you jump onto the track and then go up left. It's before the second lift hill, but that is just it's just is so deeply unpleasant.
I'm 100% with you on this. And I was expressing this when I did my Epic Universe experience. I had so many people coming at me and saying, it's supposed to be like that. And I'm like, there is no way that such an unpleasant experience is like, they made this, they wanted me to have such a bad time. Is that really what they were?
No. And there's been a lot of people that have been trying to say that to me too. When me and Demi, we were talking about this of like, people say that all the time. They're like, "Oh no, it's like a rickety mine cart. It's supposed to." No.
It should be an enjoyable experience.
Right. There is something very wrong here.
Yeah, and I was so excited for it. Like
Me too.
And I love the land. I love Donkey Kong's aesthetic and the music, and the temple is beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
But like this ride overall, the wait times, it's the highest wait time in the park.
300 minutes. 300
everything's a walk on, and that's 300 minutes because the lines are so bad because the way that the ride is set up, like even though it's
low
kind
capacity.
of like it's kind of Omni Mover, but it's so low capacity. And then do you remember when I noticed this time, I was like, it's taking a really long time to get onto the track proper, like to start. Like it's slow, and then it's just like horribly uncomfortable. I'm curious, like if it's this bad over in Japan.
We'll have to ask Chris, because I know Chris has done it over there. We'll ask him.
Yeah, because actually when I went to Japan, it was supposed to be open, and then they pushed the date, and I was so mad.
I can't imagine it's any different, because that one actually opened before the Epic Universe one, so I cannot imagine that it's any different.
Right.
But, whatever. We've spent enough time talking this ride. Okay, so Matt,
honorable mentions and number
before
one.
you do your number one, is there honorable mention?
I would say there's a ride I love. Actually, my top hated vehicle and this honorable mention, both rides I love. So don't anyone come at me. I do, but the ride vehicle is just too rough, or it just doesn't work for me. And that's Big Thunder Mountain. So that lap bar is trouble. I think
trouble.
If so, I have 10 nieces and nephews. If I have a little niece or nephew next to me and lap bar hits my thighs and then they're rattling around between that, it freaks me out so much. I want everyone to be nice and secure and cozy and locked down.
Cozy.
Yeah,
that's the t-shirt.
So as much as I love Big Thunder Mountain and I love the way it looks and the theming, and it's just that it's all coming together so well, that just the way you're like sliding around on that bench, just like, oh, not for me.
I get that.
I was not expecting us to go there for number one. That's a big surprise to me, Matt.
Was that your honorable mention or your number one?
That was his number one.
So that was my honorable mention.
Sorry, I thought it was your number one. Okay, all right.
But my number one is also something I love but hate the ride.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, what's your number one?
So number one is Space Mountain at Disney World.
Okay.
For all the reasons Demi said, the thing you said about the backpack, I like really resonate. If you have like a bag, you've got to do that in the right order before you pull the T-bar down. Then you put the back. If you don't do that, they're gonna be like so annoyed at you because you're just like you're a mess. It's rough. I love Space Mountain so much, and I just hate that damn toboggan. Rocket, sorry.
Yeah.
Same.
rocket, the toboggan rocket.
I feel so validated because I really love it so much. Like it's like such a meaningful ride to me. But you're right. The order is so like specific. You have to do it.
Y'all are shaming me for method to riding a ride. You're talking about a method to
but that's because that was on your best list. This is on our worst list.
No, I know, but I'm saying like it's just like you're talking about a whole process.
No, you can have a method to riding a ride, but it shouldn't be on your best list if you have to have a method. That's what my point was.
I don't have to have a method. That ride can throw me around as much as it wants to. I like that ride to throw me around. I don't, because that is controlled throwing around. Donkey Kong is not controlled throwing around, and no. All right. So that's Matt's list. Demi, what's your least favorite ride vehicle?
Well, I'm going to give an honorable mention to something that I think will surprise a lot of people. Last year, I was very fortunate enough to borrow my friend's child and ride Pteranodon Flyers. And what you don't know about this ride, if you're just looking up at it, is the ride seats, which I don't understand how they are fine, and I'm sure they're fine, but they are literally like sitting on a lawn chair. It's so weird. Like I was like, is this safe? It's literally a lawn chair. And I still love it in the sense of like how it's so unique and like, you can't ride it without a child or you have to be a child. But it was such an odd experience because you really can't tell from super high up, but it literally is like they went to the furniture store, they bought a lawn chair, they put a seatbelt on it and hooked it up to like a crane, and that's what you're doing. But it's still so fun, but it's such a bizarre ride vehicle.
Well, some of us have never stolen a child to do it. So
what is the rationale for that policy with the kid?
You have to know the child to borrow the child, I think.
Well, it's no, like the like why?
Why couldn't an adult do it by themselves?
Right. Yeah, that's what he's asking.
I don't know what if there's like a technical reason, because clearly an adult can go on it. I think they just want to like be. Oh, I was going to use a bad word. I don't want to use a bad word. They want to be like sassy, I'll say, I guess, about it and let it be a kid's ride. I don't know, because it's in Camp Jurassic.
It's capacity.
It's capacity? Okay.
Yeah, it's capacity, because if they just let everybody queue up for that ride would get like 9-hour lines. So they're like, you have to have
but I don't think it would if it was always an adult option to ride. Maybe weight distribution of like the front can't be as heavy as the back.
Yeah, could be.
I think it's probably something along the lines of that. Because again, it's like sitting on a lawn chair.
But it's only 2 people per train, so I
don't know what the reason is. Maybe we'll never know. Now it's going to be my goal to figure out why, but I don't know. But it is sitting on a lawn chair. But my number one most hated ride vehicle, and a ride that I haven't done in years and never plan to do unless like I am forced by some like video I plan on doing or another force of nature, and that is Mission Space.
Debbie, that's my number one too.
Of course it is, because it's terrorism.
It is pure terrorism.
I appreciate the experience, and I appreciate the technology, and I appreciate that this experience is just in a Disney park for people who enjoy it and can handle it. But how dare you put me in like
a cracker box
in the chokey, like from Matilda.
Not the
chokey. Like, it's I've never done orange. I will never do orange because I think I would actually die in orange. I can barely handle green. It is suffocating. It is nauseating. It is terrorism.
If they have to install a fan to cool your face and to remind you that there is air outside of where you are, because so many people were suffering from like claustrophobia and puking.
There's barf bags on the ride vehicle.
It's there are very few, I will do anything. Like I will ride anything.
Yeah.
There are a few select things that I will not do. And one of them is the Windseeker at Cedar Point. I rode it like twice. It makes me cry. I will never do it again. it's right next to the Wild Mouse, the super tall tower that's like 300 feet in the air with the swings.
I won't do that.
No, I mean, I've ridden it before. It made me cry. I will not do it. I feel so insecure.
I would feel so unsafe on that.
But Mission Space is another one where I think I'm like, the forces that this is putting on my body are not safe. And so for that, I don't like it. I also just think that I can do intensity on a ride if I am like sort of more opened up to it. But when you're that boxed in, I'm not a claustrophobic person, but when you're that boxed in and you're just, my vision, like I kind of feel lightheaded when I'm looking at that little screen, and then when I feel like I can't go anywhere. When I feel like elephant is sitting on my chest, I can't, it's a deeply disconcerting ride. And, it is all due to the vehicle and the tightness that you feel, and also the forces that the actual mechanism of the ride makes your body feel, which it's supposed to do. It's not like it's doing anything quote unquote wrong. It's doing everything it's supposed to do, but I just can't take it.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, Matt, what do you think?
So, you know me, I like a cozy little,
it's like a cat box.
Put me in a coffin. Put me in a little coffin and I'll be happy. So, the ride experience to me is okay. I'm not into the ride experience, but the ride vehicle itself, like, I don't mind that being like something kind of closing in on me like that. I kind of like being a little in a bit of a claustrophobic experience like that.
You're like a cat. You're like a cat.
Yeah, I like
really
being.
Are.
I like it. I like it. I don't like the ride and the experience itself, the centrifuge aspect of it. I'm not into, but
Well, there we have it. Matt is an 85-year-old cat. We've figured it out. This whole episode has just been a psychological test for you, Matt. But that's I think we covered it. That's my number one too. Demi and I have the same number one. Wait, did we have the same number one for HHN too? I think we did.
Yeah, no.
Or no. Yours was Y at 6.
We had the same number 10 for HHN.
And I think 6 or 7 or something, but we're aligned.
Number 7 we're the same. We were patches and chains.
Yes.
Make sure to go listen to our HHN
That's
ranking
right.
if you haven't, guys.
That's right.
Come on,
that's a good episode.
Great episode.
But
we did it inside Epic Universe.
Yes, we did. And half in a restaurant, half in a outdoor concert, it seemed. Demi and I had the same number one, but my honorable mentions, I have to get Matterhorn was obviously on my honorable mention. There's a ride that used to be at Canada's Wonderland called Time Warp, and it first opened when the park was owned by Paramount, and it was called Tomb Raider the Ride, which Tomb Raider is one of my all-time favorite things. Mm-hmm. But this ride is an example of a flying coaster. Zamperla is the manufacturer, though. It's not Vekoma or Bolivar and Mabillard. And
Zamperla.
This ride was so... You sound like Gloria on TikTok when she like says the brand names, and she's like Anastasia, get back to that lab, and you're like Zamperla.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Oh, she's a makeup influencer who like you need to go look her up. She's really funny.
Okay.
But when she's shading a brand, all she does is her signature thing is like she just like says the brand name and then like looks around and then goes off camera. So you're doing right now, you're Zamperla, and then you go off screen. That pointless explanation I just gave. But it was just the roughest. You're laying on your stomach, but there's no point to you laying on your stomach because there's like a fiberglass shield between you and the ground. And it's just, there's a cage. There's literally a cage around your face. It was just the roughest. I came off of it with a headache. It was horrendous. And it's also like a mass produced model. It's like a cut and paste. They have these all over the world, but thankfully they stopped building them. So they're dying out. My other one is actually a Bolivar and Mabillard wing coaster at Six Flags Great America in Illinois called X-Flight, which is one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever had on a ride because Bolivar and Mabillard has this vest design on some of them. Demi, if you rode Gatekeeper at Cedar Point.
I did with my first wing coaster.
So it's the same sort of situation, and they have these vests so the restraint comes down and the metal part doesn't touch your shoulder, but it's the vest that then comes down and touches you. And that vest on X-Flight, for some reason, as we were going through the ride, the positive forces on the ride were tightening the vest on me. The vest didn't lock in place. So each time it moved closer and closer down, it would stay down, even though the positive forces, we were through the element. So the forces were done, but each time we would do more positive forces, it would lock it down further and further, to the point that when we got onto the brake run, I started having a panic attack because I could not inflate my lungs to their full capacity. That's how tight it was. So I started freaking out. And that is, and Bollinger and Mabillard has had a bit of an issue with those vests. They're not very popular in the coaster enthusiast community, so I think they've started doing away with them. But
doesn't Siren's Curse have a kind of vest situation too?
Yes, it does. But it thankfully does not do the same thing. It does not lock, or it locks. It does not go down when you go through positive forces, which is just silly. Why would it lock when you're going? Like, it locks down but doesn't bounce back. So that's my number one, or my honorable mention. And then my number one was Mission Space. But you know what? Our mission for this episode might have been ride rankings of vehicles, but where it took us was right to the nursing home. That's where our mission landed us. And we have Matt to thank for it.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Yes. I am so happy I got to be on this. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun.
I'm so glad you finally did it.
Me too. And why don't you tell everybody, we already plugged a little bit at the top of the episode, but where can everybody find you and what kind of things are you working on right now?
All my links are on mattrichardson.com. If you're on Instagram, I'm just Matt Richardson.
Just Matt Richardson. But without the just. It's literally it's Matt Richardson
on Instagram.
Yes.
Matt Richardson.
Yeah. And Matt, no, I'm going to be in Orlando this week, so let's do something. Let's meet up at the parks and do something.
Go on Mission Space.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We should. We take a picture and send it to Demi.
Oh my God, I would die.
Let's do it. You know what? I can do that food and wine festival and then getting right on Mission Space after that. Let's do it.
Go eat the seafood roll in America and then go on. Do it. I dare you.
At least there's no caprese cocktail this time around.
Or what was the other thing?
Oh, the Italian nachos.
The Italian nachos.
The ceviche popsicle. No, thank you. No, thanks. No, thanks.
Wow. Well, after deep diving into the depths of coasters and other ride vehicles, we are carting off for now. Thank you to Matt Richardson for joining us. And thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in. Make sure to follow us at Park Peeps Pod everywhere. And keep up with me, Demi, at Magical Hijinks on YouTube and socials. That's HIJINX.
And subscribe to our Substack for extra tea this week. That link is on all of our socials and our link tree. And follow me at Joey Nolfi. Until next time, we are out of here like a flux capacitor on the back of a Stardust racer shooting down the launch. So, bye.
Bye-bye.